right, so the very first step in creating our cards is cutting all of the pieces that we are going to need. So we're going to cut the pieces for the card base, we're going to cut the print, and we are going to cut the white pieces here. So for the card base, your paper needs to be 6 inches wide, and then we are going to cut it just shy of 3 inches. We need 4 pieces this size, and when I say just shy of 3 inches, I mean like a hair shy. I don't necessarily mean like 2 15/16. That's just a little bit small. What we're trying to do is, once we glue these together, we don't want these to overlap in any way. So by cutting them just shy, we're going to give that a little bit of clearance. And then this last piece here. So that one is done. And then we are going to cut our print. So this needs to be 2 7/8 wide. And then I'm going to cut 10 pieces that are 1 3/8 of an inch. So that's 1/8 of an inch less than 1.5 here. All right, I'll finish those and be back. All right, all of those are done. So we've got 10 pieces here that are 1 3/8 by 2 7/8. I need to cut 10 of them. Sorry, I need to cut 8 of them that are 1 3/8 by 1 3/8. All of these are going to be written down on your supply sheet, so you don't have to remember these. And with me saying the wrong numbers, just go by what is on the supply sheet, because that will be absolutely correct. So these are all going to be 1 3/8 inch squares, and we need 8 of them total. All right, I will finish that and be back. All right, so those are all done. I've got 8 of those. And last but certainly not least, I need 7 squares that are 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. And if you happen to be cutting along with me while I'm doing this video, when I say I'm just going to do those and I'll be back, you can always pause the video, do yours, and be back as well. Otherwise, you can just go, like I said, by the supply list. So these are all complete squares, and they are 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. And we will need 7 total, but typically if I'm cutting and I happen to have enough for 8 or 9 or whatever, I will just cut them, because this one we are going to do some stamping and coloring, and just at the off chance that you misstamp something, it's nice to have an extra as a backup. Any of the pieces that are not the right size or width, I'm going to put up there. And there we go. We've got 7 of them there. I've got enough here to do 1 more, so I have an extra there just in case I'm going to need it. All right, so the pieces that I have here, I've got 4 pieces of my cardstock base that are 6 inches wide and just shy of 3 inches. I've got 10 pieces that are 2 7/8 by 1 3/8. I've got 8 pieces that are 1 3/8 by 1 3/8 square, and I've got 2 7/8 by 2 7/8 square. I've got 7 of those as well. So just one note for this one here, this is a non-directional pattern, so I can do all of them, can cut all of them at the same time. For the second card that we're going to do, we're going to use a print that has a directional pattern. So you are going to probably want to cut them as you're assembling your card, or you're going to want to pay attention to what sizes you need ahead of time. But for right now, we are ready. In the next video, we are going to score and assemble our card base.